Okay guys, so in this training video, I'm going to run you over the exact step-by-step process that someone who inquires for our coaching and eventually comes on board as a client goes through. Now, this will be a little bit of a shorter video. I'm going to run you through the 4 steps that I have outlined here. Before I dive into that, I'm going to run you over some client results to show you what can be achieved in a 4 to 6 month period. And then I'm actually going to dive into our coaching app and our educational portal here to show you what we provide the clients with when they come on board. But first of all, I want to show you 2 results that have just come through from our athletic aesthetic client programming. So here at the top, we have Matt, who has just gone through a 16-week fat loss phase. He's actually doing a photo shoot this weekend. Not something that we usually do, photo shoots, but he wanted to book one in and get some photos that he can keep forever and be proud of the results that he achieved. So he has actually dropped 11.5 kg so far between these 2 pictures, and that's pretty much him at the end of his fat loss phase. And now he's going to go into a reverse diet and then a lean muscle gaining phase. Just below here, we have Evan, who is actually also another coach from Barry's Bootcamp in the US. He has lost 8.5 kg over, I think it was 18 weeks, and he has now completed his fat loss phase and he is into reverse dieting phase. So this shows you what can be achieved in a relatively short amount of time by anyone's standards when you really do lock in and do the work. So step 1, even before step 1, we'll get a lot of inquiries from clients on Instagram, LinkedIn, some on YouTube here as well. And then the next step for us, for me, is to find out a little bit more about what that client, that prospect is looking to achieve. So we will invite them to book in for a consultation call. We'll usually do it over Zoom. And on the call, we will primarily, the most important thing is us finding out what their goal is. Do they have physique goals? Do they have performance goals? Do they have goals where they just want to significantly improve their energy levels because they're lacking energy at work? Usually for everyone, it's a combination of all of these. Then obviously we need to understand the client or the potential client's time availability, like how much time in their week do they actually have to train? How busy are they at their job? We need to understand where they're at in their career and understand what is important to them. We also need to see if they travel a lot for work or leisure. I think this is often really overlooked by a lot of coaches in the industry. But once we have all these, I would say 4 buckets of information there, we can then, actually tell the prospect whether they're a good fit for our program, because it goes without saying that we don't take everyone on board. We want to make sure that we can actually help this person. And if we believe we can't, then obviously we can refer them out to someone else in the industry who is trusted. But these 4 things are really important for us to understand. It's impossible for us to write someone a tailored training or nutrition plan without understanding all this. The next step, assuming that the client wants to come on board with us, would be obviously to collect key information. So they would choose a payment plan. We have various different options that differ in price and service level depending on how long the client wants to work with us. We have some monthly options and some upfront options as well. Obviously, we then need to really summarize what we found on the call and get the client to put that down in a consultation form. We'll also gather key information around their current weight, their current height, gender, stats and things like that. That's generally so that we can put the nutrition plan together. Once we've got all that information, we will then turn the plan around within 2 working days if the client wants to start that soon. So that I've written here, the coaching team prepares the plan. So obviously it goes without saying we put together the tailored training plan, which is fully adaptable for travel. We put together a tailored nutrition plan for them as well. That might be actually writing them a full meal plan that comes from our nutritionist, or it could just be us giving them macro and calorie guidelines. We find that most of the people who work with us don't want to follow a strict meal plan, usually because the people that we coach are quite social. They enjoy going out for meals on the weekend. Sometimes they need to eat out for client dinners. They might be having alcohol occasionally, and usually when you stick to a strict meal plan, that's just not feasible. Having said that, we have put some meal plans together for some clients in the past, and they do provide the clients with a little bit of inspiration with the meals that they can put together themselves. So as I say, most clients opt for the calorie and the macro approach. Support structure, what that means is we have a general framework that we follow for communication between the client and the coaching team. Generally that will be a minimum of 1 formal check-in per week in a format where the client will fill in key questions that we ask them relating to training and nutrition, any travel for work, any things that they have struggled with this week, any things that they think they might struggle with next week, and then we will provide them with video feedback within 24 hours on their check-in. Midweek as well, we will Also, always reach out to all our clients as a midweek touch point to make sure that they're fully on track. And outside of that, they can communicate with us whenever they want. They can message us whenever they want on WhatsApp, and we will always get back to them. The next step would be the onboarding. So this is obviously a really, really important process. So I'm going to show you the True Coach app in a second. That is where we host all the training. It's where the clients track all the metrics. That is totally free for all the clients to use. We actually link up MyFitnessPal, which is the most popular nutrition tracking app, and I believe it is the best on the market. So we link that up to True Coach so that basically when the clients fill in their nutritional data, we can see all the numbers coming through so that we can review things and let them know whether we need to make any changes to their plan. Generally, all the communication between myself, the rest of the coaching team, and the clients is done over WhatsApp because we believe it's just the most fluid method of communication. And we also have a community group chat on there as well that everyone is part of. And the last thing that we have is also an educational portal for extra resources, which I'm going to dive into in a second. But I wanted to show you an example of a client program that we have here. So this is the True Coach app, obviously on a desktop format. For all the clients, this is delivered in an app on their iPhone or Android. In there, they will see their training for the week. So for example, Evan's training plan at the moment, he has a full upper body session on a Monday. He has a full rest day on a Tuesday due to his work. On Wednesday, he actually does cardio and a leg session. That is because he was doing a fat loss phase and he was doing quite a lot of expenditure in the last 4 weeks. He has a push day on a Thursday, a pull day on a Friday, and then extra cardio on Saturday. And you can see that his check-in form is in on Thursday for him to complete there. So this plan was obviously fully tailored to Evan. He wanted to focus a little bit more on his upper body versus lower body, which is why we only have 1 leg session in the routine there and 3 upper body sessions. And obviously we had cardio in to help him drop body fat quicker. But the plan that we put together for every client is different. We have some clients that are more performance focused, so they might have running in their routine and they just have strength training in there to support their running. We have some clients that are a lot more, physique focused, body composition focused, so some of their training might just be strength training. Within obviously the training sessions, I won't go into too much detail, but obviously we've got activation and warm-up exercises prior to the training sessions. We have all the information on the main compound lifts that they're doing in the program. We provide all the videos as well for every single movement. We give all the guidelines on the rep ranges that they need to do, the tempo of the movement, which is the speed, the rest time, and then the only thing that we need from the clients, provided that obviously they are doing the workouts, is that they track their lifts in the app. So you can see here, Evan is writing down all the reps that he's doing, all the weights that he's lifting. This will actually save in the app, so when they go through to the next week of training, they know he can look back on the weights that he lifted so that he knows how he needs to improve. That might be increasing the weight or it might be increasing the reps. I mentioned before obviously that we link MyFitnessPal up to True Coach. So for example, we have a full week of nutrition here from Evan. We can see all the calories that he entered on MyFitnessPal, pull through to our app here, and we can see all the carbs, proteins, fats and fiber that are coming through there. We can view this as a daily view or a weekly average view as well. So this gives us all the data on the nutrition. And then the 4 basic metrics that we encourage all our clients to track that gives us a lot of information to go on and let them know whether we need to make any change with their plan would be body weight. We recommend weighing daily unless the client has an issue with doing that. Step count as a weekly average. You can see here Evan's steps were very high towards the end again because he was pushing for fat loss. He was doing 13,000 a day. Not everyone on the program does that. We have a lot of desk workers that are clocking between 6 and 10,000 a day. We highly recommend that clients track sleep as well and also hydration. For the more performance focused clients that might be prepping for races and things like that, we would also encourage them to track their HRV, their recovery and other metrics like that, just so that we can really monitor their recovery and make sure that we're not pushing them too hard. The last thing that I didn't mention before was tracking visual progress in the app as well. Almost everyone that we work with has a physique goal as well. So even if they're pushing for performance in the gym or they're trying to run a race, the majority of the clients also want to drop body fat or build muscle as well. So it is important that we assess the visuals there as well. And then the last thing, everyone who signs up to our program has access to our educational portal, which you can see here. So various videos and sections in here. It's almost like a course that you work through as you become part of the program. So whenever someone comes on board, they work through all the videos for joining the program, just understanding how to check in, what we expect of them in the first 4 weeks, setting standards there. We've got lots of information on training, in terms of progressive overload, deload weeks, mobility, warm-ups. We have a little bit of information on hybrid training as well, and then we have quite a lot of nutritional content as well, because we do actually have a performance nutritionist on board the team too. So that's a little bit of a snapshot in terms of what someone who comes on board with us would receive. As I say, I thought it would be good to just package this into a video because we do get a lot of questions about this. Obviously, every client is different, everyone has different goals. We might go a little step further for some clients, but this is the basic framework that we use. So step 1, consultation call. Step 2, sort the payment and send the forms over for them to fill in. Step 3, prepare the actual plan. Step 4, onboard the client. Step 5, get the results. So I hope you found this useful. If you do have any questions about our program and you'd like to find out more information, then obviously drop me a message personally.